Penny says, have you even seen a coin from? Today we are back with episode number 4 out of 4 of coins that I picked up the biggest coin show purchase from one dealer I've ever made. We're going to go through this stack of coins today. As a quick overview, this dealer prices pretty much everything straight out of the Kraus catalog, so whatever it says is what he's going to price it. And so I'm going to cross-reference the prices with what the people on Numista think each of these coins is going to be worth. I've also sorted each coin from the least expensive to the most expensive, and then at the very end we're going to kind of add up the cost and the value of everything in this video. I bought so much from the dealer that he pretty much gave me a 30% off discount for everything. However, he said the coin at the very end, which is on the bottom of the pile, he's not going to give me a discount for that one, and we'll show you why when we get to it. We're going to start with the loose coin that he didn't charge me anything for. This one is from Chile. It's a 10 centavos from 1979. I already had this, but I thought this one was in really nice condition. It would be an upgrade from my collection. And like a lot of the coins from Chile, it has an Andean condor on it. Not a particularly rare coin. There were 101 million of these made. This was the last year that the 10 centavos was made. It's still a valid currency. Up until this point, it was made out of aluminum bronze. And technically, I guess you could still get some foreign exchange value of this. It would take 100 of these to equal 1 United States cents today. This next coin is priced at 5 cents because the catalog probably listed it as uncirculated for 10 cents and then no price below that. Of course, it's got a pretty bad spot on the side here, but he called it extra fine, but I'd say it's worth 5 cents. I actually didn't have this. It's going to be from Gibraltar, and as I've mentioned before, I like how this dealer pretty much labels everything on the coin. So it's catalog number KM1079. On the back here of the Gibraltar penny, for the last several years, it's featured a Barbary partridge. Older versions of this coin had some twigs underneath the feet of the partridge. This coin was made from 2010 and 2011. And then starting in 2012, they redesigned the portrait side here. They made the portrait of Queen Elizabeth a little bit smaller, put the date below the bust, and then on the right it actually had the words Queen of Gibraltar on it. Here's a coin from Peru that had a lot of subtle changes made over the years. This one is a 5 centavos coin from 1969. It's catalog KM 244.2. And formerly, before 1969, this coin was reeded, and at this point it has a plain edge on it. And then in version 3 of this coin, they reduced the size of the coat of arms that's in the middle of this coin. And these brass coins are pretty easy to find stained. Now that I'm looking at it, I wonder if that is a die crack right here. We've got 2 in a row from Peru. Here is a modern 10 centimos. This one was made from 1978. I have that wrong. 1997 to 1998. Catalog KM 305.2. So they had some changes on this one. Up until 1996, this wreath at the very top was more circular, but going forward they made it more of an oval shape. And then in 1999, in version 0.3 of this coin, They made a lot of subtle changes, like the gap above the letters here was a little bit bigger. The fineness of the end of the stalk of wheat right here was a little bit thinner. And the word Peru, the U had an accent added to it in 1999. And then a couple of years after that, starting in 2001, they removed the braille from these coins. So that would have just been an empty space across the top. In the first half of today's video, we're going to have a recurring theme of ladies who appear on coins. We've got a coin here from Egypt that is dated on their calendar, 1395. Our calendar is 1975. It's catalog 445. This coin from Egypt features Queen Nefertiti. This was made during the United Nations International Women's Year, which again was 1975, and the symbol that they use for that appears on Nefertiti's headwear. So if you look closely and kind of embedded into that, it's the shape of a dove. So if you look back here on this side, we've got some wings. Pointing with my finger is not very useful on here, so let's get a pen. So we've got some wings back here. The head of the dove is right there. And then kind of embedded into the dove, we've got this women's symbol, which is kind of like a circle with like a plus below it. And then also the back of the wings, we have an equal sign. So they were promoting women's equality during this year. There is also some grain that goes around this coin, also pretty typical from a United Nations coin. Next, we have a coin from Denmark when they were occupied by the Germans in World War II, and the coin designs changed and were made out of zinc. So, unfortunately, a lot of the zinc coins do not show up very well. Now, he wrote on here 1943, and when I was looking at this coin, I was wondering if it was a 1945. And so, there you go, pointing at it again. Let's, is that a 3 or a 5? Now I'm thinking it's a 3, but when I was looking at this without the benefit of the camera, I thought it was a 45. As it turns out, 45 would have been a better date. Only less than 1 million were produced that one year. But it has a monogram of Christian X, C with an X inside of it, King of Denmark. We flip it over and it has the 1 oar. In the late 1950s, coins from Argentina featured what they called the Liberty Head. They gave this lady a name. I believe it's pronounced Udine. So she appeared on this coin from 1957 to 59. I had it, but I felt like this one would be an upgrade to my collection. Catalog 53. It is a 5 centavos. We are back to Peru. This is a coin design that's actually stayed for a while, ever since they started to make it out of aluminum. It's 304.1A. So it would have had a lot of similar changes to the last one that we looked at. This one is another 5 centimos. This was made from 2007 to 2018. And you can see how this one does not have the braille at the very top. But I do want to focus on the figures that are on the left and the right here. That is art from the Chimu people in the archaeological site, the former town of Chan Chan. I had that catalog number wrong. It's KM 304.4A. Next, we have a coin from the Philippines, catalog KM 188 from 1966. It is a 10 centavos. The back here features the logo of the Central Bank of the Philippines. We flip it over. We've got another Lady Liberty. This is how it appears in the Philippines. The lady holding a hammer next to an anvil in front of the Mayon volcano in the background. This year, the coin does not have a mint mark on it, but it was made by UDM Metals Company of Germany. And this coin has a mintage of 110 million, so it's pretty easy to find. I don't go out and buy the coins from East Caribbean states all that often because they haven't changed as much. They kept the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth on a lot of their coins, never went to the third portrait. This is the coin that I probably find the least from there. It is the 2 cents coin. It's dated 1981. Catalog CAM 11. Of course, it's the rounded square. And they kept on using this portrait from 1981 to 2000, and then the 2 cents was finally demonetized in 2020. We're going to go to South Africa. The modern 20 cent coin features the King Protea flower. Trying to figure out which side is up. No, that doesn't look right, so I'm guessing that is up, maybe? So the numbers lean a little bit. This one's from 2009. And so I usually mention about the modern South African coins that they have 11 different official languages in their country, and the legend, the way that the country is spelled, rotates between all 11. So every 11 years that the coin is minted. This one, where it says Afrika Tishipembe, is from the Venda language in South Africa. This coin was first made in 2009. Catalog number is 466. This coin was also made in 2022, although it hasn't gotten an official catalog number change. There is a change. The placement of the ALS engraver initials has moved. We're going to be looking at Panama now. I always point out the Panamanian coins are pegged to the United States dollar, so their coins have the same weight and metal content as American coins. This one is a 5 centésimos, so it weighs the same as a United States nickel. This one is dated 2001. This is KM 133.1. He left off the 0.1 off of this one. There is a change because we have 9 stars across the top here, which represent the, I believe it's the 9 states or territories that make up Panama. When they remade this coin in 2017, that turned into 10. Even though this coin is pegged to the US dollar, it's produced by the Royal Canadian Mint. And we flip it over. This coin features Sarah Sotillo, maybe pronounced Sotillo. She was a Panamanian feminist leader. Numista says this coin's worth $1.50. We're going to move to a 2 drachma from Greece. We look at this side, and we have some Navy themes here. We've got an anchor, a cannon with some cannonballs, and a captain's wheel on this coin from 1988. This is catalog 151. And this coin features Manto Moraginus. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. And her name is written right here. And I guess the Greek letters can be written in cursive just like American letters. So I don't know if I've seen that anywhere other than Greek coins. But this lady was a heroine of the 1821 Greek War of Independence. We'll now look at a coin from Turkey. This one is a 50 kuruş from 1976. The metal here is called akmonitol, which is a stainless steel alloy. The catalog is going to say this coin features the Anatolic bride. And I had to look up what that meant. So that is not a specific person, but it would be a bride from the Anatolia area of Turkey wearing a traditional red bridal veil. Catalog number is 899. This dealer probably writes out so many things that sometimes he does get the details wrong. This one was made in 1996, not 94. This is from Thailand, and it celebrates the Golden Jubilee, which means the 50th anniversary of the reign of Rama the Ninth. So in our calendar, that is 1996. Their calendar is 2539. This one is half of a baht. It's a 50 satang. The Thailand has, at least at this time, 9 circulating coins. So this is one of 9. And that one year, all of them were made in a design similar to this one. We flip it over, and it features the emblem of the Golden Jubilee ceremony. And so a lot of symbolism on here. Of course, a couple of elephants flanking the middle there. Here is the value of 50, and that 5 is really hard. I cannot. I always have to look that up to make sure that's a 5. Catalog number is 32A. Next, we have a coin from Romania. The lowest circulating coin they had at the time in 1952 is the 1 ban coin. Plural of that is banning. It is a catalog 81.1. After this 1 year, the coat of arms of Romania changed. It actually changed the year of 1952. They didn't make the change on the coins until the following year of 1953. And the biggest difference that you can tell on that is a star is added about, let me get the pin again. A star is placed in the sunbeams about right here when this coin was made in 53 and 54. Numista says, so my price for this coin was 75 cents. Numista says that one's worth $2.40. Next, we have a coin from Afghanistan, which features the national emblem of Afghanistan. So the central part of this is a mosque in the center of the coin. And one thing that they point out is that the mosque itself has so much detail that you can see a prayer mat in the middle of the mosque. I don't think it's a specific mosque. I might be wrong about that. There are a couple of Afghani flags on either side of the mosque, and then a wreath made out of wheat surrounding it. Has an Arabic date on here of 1316, which is 1939, on our calendar. They used the Persian calendar, so it's not the same Arabic calendar that most Arabic countries use. This is a 1-year coin, and the value here is a 10 pool. 100 pool made 1 Afghani, which was their currency. Catalog number on this one is KM939. I paid $1 for it, and Numista says it's worth $2.50. I may have gotten this next coin half price because it had a hole in it, but this comes from Tunisia when they were a French protectorate. And so we have a lot of Arabic writing on here, along with some wheat. This part of the writing on here says that it is under the ruler of Muhammad al-Nasir. Sometimes he's referred to as Muhammad V. And then the value of the coin is shown right here. That's the number 10 in Arabic, 10 centimes. And then their calendar date of 1334 above the hole on here. And then the side that I'm better able to read is 10 centimes from 1916. The design of this coin is called an ovoid grenatus. And that's something else I had to look up. That's essentially the name of the little oval beads that go around the edge of this coin. In 1916, there's a couple of variations here. So this coin was, since it's a French protectorate, it was made in the Paris Mint. So it's got the A Paris Mint mark and their privy mark. The engraver mark that particular year used a torch. It's very well worn, so you can only see kind of the outline of it. But there is a variation this year. On some of the coins like this one, the edge of the number 6 above it kind of lines up with the torch. And then in the other variation, the 6 is further to the right, and so it does not line up with the edge of the torch. I paid $1.50 for this next coin. This is a 10 fils from the Yemen Arab Republic, sometimes referred to as North Yemen. This was produced by the UK Royal Mint. And then on this side we have the national arms of Yemen. But what makes it different is for 1 year, it has extra writing on the top. This was an FAO coin, so for this 1 year, all 6 of the Yemen circulating coins had this Arabic at the top, which essentially translates to raise the food production. Catalog number on this one is 39, Y39. And then, so their calendar 1394, our calendar of 1974. Here's one that Numista thinks I may have overpaid for. It says that it's $2. And I just now noticed that he wrote very fine. This whole time I've been thinking he wrote very good on it. So I'll let you be the judge of that. It's going to be from Portugal, catalog 527. Over here we have the name of the monarch, which is Louis I. And so they normally spelled it L-U-I-S, but a lot of these countries would do it in Latin, which would be Louise with a Z. Louis I. R-E-I is their abbreviation for King of Portugal. So I know I had this coin, but this one's going to be an upgrade to my collection. This one is a 20 Reyes from 1883. This side features both olive and oak leaves. If you found this uncirculated, the catalog price is $36. From Australia, we have a 1 year circulating commemorative coin. 1988, Australia called it their bicentenary, not a bicentennial, but a bicentenary, which means it was the 200th anniversary of the first British fleet to arrive in Australia. So for that, they made a 1 year coin. We have a kangaroo, but it is made in the design of Aboriginal art. And then the kangaroo is standing in front of the 7-point Australian Commonwealth star. Catalog number on this one is KM100. I paid $2, and Numista thinks that's about right. They say it's worth $2.30. The next coin is going to be a country that was controlled by the Portuguese on this 50 centavos coin. Had this coin, but it's going to be an upgrade to my collection. And the country here is Sao Tome and Principe, or as I would usually call it, St. Thomas and Prince, from 1962. Made out of bronze. There are 480,000 of these made, since it's a tiny place. It's catalog number 17.1. There is a .2 version of this coin that was made in 1971 that was 2 millimeters larger. And this one had a sticker price of $2.50. Numista thinks it's worth $4.25. A lot of the South American countries which were originally colonized by Spain went with the real system. This tiny coin is part of that. It's going to be from Guatemala. Dated 1901. This was only made from 1900 and 1901. There is an H for heat and mint mark at the bottom. And then 3 volcanoes, with the one in the middle being an active volcano, and then a big sunburst on top of that. The value of this coin is a quarter of a real. So the way the Spanish real system worked was 8 reals was their equivalent of the U.S. dollar. So think of a large silver coin about the size of a U.S. Morgan dollar or a British crown. And that's how big an 8 real coin would have been. By this point, they were calling it, in Guatemala, they called it the peso. So this is, so it took 8 reals to make 1 peso, and this is 1/4 of a real. So that's why it's a really tiny coin. It would essentially be it would take 32 of these to make 1 peso. So it also points out on here that it is nickel. It's actually copper nickel, but they spell out nickel on here, and that's to designate how, because of their inflation, they were no longer able to make their coins out of silver anymore. Now, there were 5 million of these minted, but they're actually a little bit harder to find than that, because during World War II, these low-value coins were exported to Europe as part of the war effort, and many of them were melted down, so that makes it kind of harder to find. But of the 2 years, 2001 is the easier year to find. So the sticker price on this one was $2.50. Catalog is $1.75. Numista thinks that this one is worth $4.50. This next coin, I already had one of these. I bought it pretty much because of the silver price. It's from Japan. And if I was getting this at a third off cost, then that means that I actually paid $3 off the sticker price of $4.50. And it's 72% silver and 0.1146. So back in February, silver was $30 an ounce. And then today that I'm recording this, it's over $40. So it's gone up in value since then. So that much silver today, the spot price is $4.60. He also labels this as extra fine, and I don't think the details are that good. We'll see that on the other side. But on this side right here, it says it's year 13 of Taisho. So there is the Taisho symbol right here, a 10 and a 3 for 13. That translates to 1924. Catalog number is Y46. Then we flip it over to this side. This is a 50 sen coin, so 5 times 10 is 50, and then that's the symbol for the sen currency. This coin features 2 phoenixes facing each other, and the details are somewhat worn on here, so that's why I don't think this is worthy of the extra fine designation. But Numista still thinks that very fine would be worth $7.50. I've hidden the final coin, but we'll pull up the next to last coin here. This one is from Poland. It's a 50 zloty from 1979. During this time, Poland had a series of rulers from long ago. So it's the Polish Rulers series. It's a circulating commemorative coin. The ruler featured here is Duke Mieszko I, who ruled from the years 960 to 992. That is on our Gregorian calendar. Catalog number is Y100. This is the second catalog number 100 that we've had in this video. So the sticker price on this one was $5. Again, Numista thinks that was a significant overpay. They think it was only worth $2.30. Now, one thing that the dealer wrote on here was copper showing through. So I would have just said this coin is stained, but he is saying that the spots on here would have been more of an imperfection in the planchet, where copper was in spots that copper should not have been. So I'd like to get your opinion on that. So every time I visit the dealer, he always reminds me that the more I buy, the bigger discount that he's going to give me. However, he said for this very final coin, he could not give me a discount on it. Now, he only put a sticker price of $15, but it was kind of a more special coin to him. So at least he has the ability to let go of the special coins, and that way he can then turn around and buy some more coins that he gets to enjoy for a bit, and then sell those off as well. And at this coin show, he was definitely showing it off to everybody who walked past his table. So he said, "This is only the second coin that I have ever had from this country. Have you ever seen a coin from Scotland?" This is a 2 pence coin. Doesn't have a date on it. So let's break it down. The Scotland and Great Britain came together starting in 1603, where they had a shared monarch. However, Scotland kept their own currency until 1707, so they still maintained separate governments and separate coins. So they were still using the pounds Scots system until 1707. There is not a date on this coin, but we know that it's made from 1642 to 1650. And of course, this is a good coin. It's really well worn. It is, I guess that makes it 375-year-old coin right here. And of course, in pretty lousy shape, but this is the letter C right here. R, I guess, would be the abbreviation for king, so the monogram of Charles I. Now, Charles I reigned until 1749. I'm getting my years mixed up. 1649. But this coin was produced until 1650, so when King Charles II took over, he kept this coin still in circulation for another year. So there is no difference between the Charles I and the Charles II 2 pence coin. So then there is a crown above it. This is, of course, a copper coin. If you were able to read all of the letters that go around it, just like some of the newer British coins, it has abbreviations of Latin words going around it. So the translation of everything around the edge on this coin would say, "Charles, by the grace of God, King of Scotland, England, France, and Ireland." And so most of that made sense to me, and of course they're going to list Scotland first since this is a coin from Scotland. But why France? And so just doing a little bit of research here, I believe Charles I married the daughter of the King of France, but that's not why it says that. Apparently, all of the British rulers at this time added "and France" onto the territories they ruled, even though if that wasn't really the case, or just ruled over a small territory of France. I think it was something to essentially brag on without really being something that they legit had. Then as we flip it over, this side features the Scottish thistle, which is the plant that I suppose I most commonly associate with Scotland. And in some of the modern 1 pound coins, they have also featured a Scottish thistle on them occasionally. The Latin words that go around the edge on this one translate to "no one shall hurt me with impunity." That is that Latin phrase, which I just translated in English, is the national motto of Scotland. Now, this coin does have a couple of varieties. The word for impunity is right here, and like they oftentimes do in Latin, the U is drawn like a V. And so There are some variations on here of the placement of that letter V. This is the most common variation. I don't think it really affects the price any. So I was kind of surprised he was willing to sell this for $15 just based on how old it is, 375 years. Obviously, it's in not that wonderful shape, but it's a place that would be a highly desirable place to get a coin from. But with that, the book price on here, the catalog price would say very good is $20 in the Krause catalog. And then Numista comes along and says that a coin in fine condition is worth $22. So believe it or not, they might say that $15 is an overpay on a coin like this, but how often do you even see a coin from Scotland? I wanted to pick it up. So kind of a running tally here. If we add up the sticker price of everything that we looked at in this video, it comes up to $40. He gave me a third off of everything but the Scottish coin. And that's everything that I purchased in all 4 videos and the stuff that I purchased that I did not turn into a video. And so the sticker price in this video is $40, but take a third of the price off of everything but the Scottish coin. That's going to make it about $33. And then if you add up the Numista value of everything we looked at in this video, that's going to come up to $54 on here. So either I'm really talented at picking up the coins that are better than what Numista thinks, or Numista just inflates the price on everything that is a low value coin. So I hope you like this series. I might make a little kind of a short wrap-up video and show off just the stuff that aren't really getting featured, and just kind of give an overview of how much I paid for everything until I move on to the next set of coins that I purchased. All right, I'll catch you next time. Bye.